Hey everybody, it's Julie, Gulf Coast Stitches.
And I'm Sarah. I'm her daughter.
Still.
Yeah, still, if you're new. If you couldn't tell,
Yeah,
we're related.
Thanks for coming back, and we're sitting on the back porch today. We are all healthy and well, but we are social distancing.
Yes, social distancing, a.k.a. watching Netflix and Disney Plus all day. And stitching.
So, it's kind of tough for Sarah being home on spring break, wanting to go and do all the things and see all the people, but we're not supposed to do that right now because we're healthy and one of us is young. But
you're young by CDC standards.
By CDC standards, yeah. But we don't want to transmit that to anyone in the vulnerable population. We won't mention any names. But we are
You're going to be in trouble.
No, we're not. Today is going to be, we're going to do 2 videos today. So if you think you've seen us, this might be part 1, part 2, I don't know. So we're going to show our stitchy progress and my haul from market. Sarah's haul from market is one thing, and it's also her stitchy progress. And then we'll do a shop update. So just to remind everybody, our shop, GulfCoastStitches.com, has all the new releases. We're not out of stock of much. There are a few things that we are out of stock of. But most everything's there. Also, just want to mention real quick, we'll talk about shop in the next video, but we have a ton of stuff for Market 2019 that's 50% off. So
50.
50, not 15, not limited 20% off time, no, 50% off. So please make sure you go to our website and check the clearance page or check the Nashville 2019 page. They all link, it's all, if something is on sale, it could be in multiple folders, categories, same chart. So there's different ways to find stuff. Or you can just, if you're interested in a certain thing, you can search it by the designer's name or by the chart name. And odds are you're going to find it 50% off because we've got about 4 totes that we've got clearanced. But anyway, enough about that. New stuff time. Okay, you show your stitchy progress.
Okay, I actually have 2 things I'm stitching on right now, which is crazy, but I'll start with the one not from market, and I might have showed this in a video already, I don't remember, but it is, let me get the chart out. Oh gosh, my project bag's a mess.
We actually did a lot of stitching yesterday, it was cool.
So, the Prairie Schooler Snowy Nights, I've been working on the one with the little reindeer on a rooftop, and I'm almost done with it. So, I just have to finish up the reindeer. And I was stitching this while we were watching Frozen 2 last night.
So good.
So
Frozen
good.
2 was so good. If you haven't watched it. Okay, also, what else? When we stitched yesterday, we watched Spencer Confidential.
Oh my gosh.
On Netflix. And
so
it was
funny.
But
also so
it was great for the,
good.
I mean, I would say great for the whole family, but great for anyone who you're comfortable with PG-13 probably or above.
Above, I would say. And mature audiences.
Mature audiences, the content is mature, but it wasn't, I don't remember it being exceptionally, like, explicit in any way, shape, or form. There could have been some stuff that got by me, but it was great for the, when I say great for the family, like, if you're sitting down and your husband likes action movies, or you like action movies, and you also like comedy and some mystery, it was great.
Mark Wahlberg,
Marky Mark, forever Marky Mark for me.
Yeah.
But he did great, and there was some great comic relief, and yeah. So Spencer Confidential, highly, highly recommend to add that to your Netflix queue, because we're all going to have some time to watch TV these days.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was a
what else did you stitch on?
So I stitched on this while we were watching movies, and then kind of just throughout the day, I started stitching. This is what I got from Market, and this is kind of so random. Like,
this is her Market haul.
This was all that I picked out, and last year I kind of did the same thing. I don't remember if I even picked anything out last year, because I typically, like, I say typically, the 2 times we've been to Market, I've just, like, kind of made mental notes of everything that I like, and then when we get back to the hotel or to the house, I kind of, like, go through and really look at everything and pick out what I like. But this was the one thing that I saw, and I was like, I kind of really need that.
So cute.
And I love sharks. I love Florida, the ocean, everything.
You're going to hear airplanes and whatnot, because we're sitting out back.
Yeah, we're sitting outside. But, so I'm so happy to be back in Florida for longer than I thought. Anyway, side note, this is the chart I got. Shark Attack, it's by EJV Designs, which, if you were keeping up with our live sale or just like live stream videos in general, You might have seen the flamingo riding a bicycle with lemon wheels.
You'll see it in our shop update video too.
There was like a surprise hit. Shout out to Robbie for making that one popular. Yeah. And then this was from the same realm. So there's 4 little, mini.
They were finished into pillows
and hanging on a palm tree. I was like,
so cute.
Obviously, I need that. So I'm almost done with one of them, and then
they have witty little sayings.
They do. I have finished. Gosh, I need to sort my life out. So I finished the hammerhead, and we ended up picking like our own floss from Weeks while we were at market, and I love the one we picked that was supposed to be like a light pewter, I think, but it's kind of like variegated gray, which is so shark, it's like shark color.
Let's see the colors so the people know.
Yeah. So I have the back stitching on this
big airplane
is
we live next to Hurlburt Air
the
Force
largest
Base.
in Eglin, the 2 largest Air Force bases in the United States.
Yep.
Oh, my floss.
Your floss. It's your floss.
So,
oh wait, one more floss.
This was the one I really liked.
Yeah.
So it was. All of them call for like the same colors because sharks. And this one was super simple. It only used 3 colors. There's just floss everywhere. I didn't use the blue. The blue, I think I'm going to use that on the great white for the eyeballs.
And what is that color?
This is Michael's Navy.
Oh.
And it's just a very gorgeous navy blue color. This is graphite. I used this for if you can see, there's the outline, and then there's like a second one. It's
giving them some depth.
Yeah, this is what I used for that. Then gunmetal, this was his whole outline, just dark gray. And then this was the belly that I just really liked stitching with. This is king mackerel.
Ironically.
I didn't stitch a king mackerel. I stitched a hammerhead with it, but I probably could do king mackerel. So yeah, I just have to do the words, which are going to say, nailed it. And I think that's so funny because the hammerhead. And then the next one I'm going to stitch is this great white. And it says you can't handle the tooth is like the saying that goes with this one. But I really like I think I'm going to need a bigger project bag. So I might like switch, like I might use these words on this one because I'm not crazy about stitching the fin. Like I will to complete the set, but like I think I could stitch that.
She's not hepped up about it.
Like I could stitch this in like one day. I literally stitched this whole thing in one. Sorry.
That's okay.
I literally stitched this whole thing in one day. So like I know I could do this little fin, but.
Social distancing.
Anyway, long story short.
Nailed it. I just like the woodiness. You can't handle the tooth. I'm going to need a bigger project bag.
Catching some rays. There is a stingray if you're not like crazy about sharks. I just love sharks.
Who is not crazy about sharks?
I just ordered, literally the day I started stitching this, I ordered a case for my headphones that's a shark. Like who doesn't love sharks? Spent all day at the beach yesterday. Day before.
Got a little sun. Got a little color.
Sun. I'm a little tanner than I was.
Okay, so this is my Lisa Smith, one of my Lisa Smith project bags. I was just telling Sarah last night that I love that I know that she handpicked these buttons just for me. That made me happy. Okay, so we're gonna talk about favorite things from market. I'll say I'll pick my top 5 as we go through this stuff.
Favorites, too. Yeah, just stuff I've
didn't pick up because mom has it, or there's only so many things you can stitch while you're in nursing school and you're super busy and in ROTC. But there were some standouts that for me were super just I couldn't get them out of my head, and so you got to start all the things, right? So this was one that I lost my mind over. So this is in my top. I'm gonna pick like 5 out of my haul, but this is. This picture, of course, none of the pictures do them justice. This is from an Italian designer. I'm not even going to try to say her name, but her business name goes by GPA. She's a physician in Italy. God bless her. Hope she's well. Hope she got home safe. I hope she was able to get back home. But I jumped off the deep end and also bought the silk pack, which I never do. I'd rather stitch in wool, but this sucker right here, it is in the package, and it just is what it is. But, okay. So here's my progress on. Well, here's the silks. There's the beautiful silks. It came with this fantastic floss card, which I absolutely love because it has the symbol and the color and the kind of color of the floss. So your eye is easily, like if you know something is light blue, you automatically go to that. There's another photo of the chart. And Robbie taught me how, I mean, this seems so elementary, but something I just didn't know how to do was how to arrange my flosses where I can pull just a single strand off of the card. And I don't know how I didn't know how to do that. Life-changing. So I'm stitching this on 40 count, which I never do. I am stitching it in hand.
That fabric I had for the shark was white.
32 count.
32 count. And then I think the ornament, the perischooler, was 18 Ada.
There's some beautiful little mockingbirds sitting right on. They're looking at it like, why aren't y'all filling the feeders? So this is how far I've got. That doesn't seem like a lot of progress, but those berries, those orange berries, look how many of them I have to stitch. There's a boatload of them, but
the lighting is actually doing a really good job at getting the color.
Yep. So here's
it's like peachy.
Yep. Here's the rest of the flosses. It's gonna be gorgeous. I don't want to put it down. I haven't put it down really since I started.
And isn't it color? The chart is in color.
Yep. The chart is super easy to read. It's in color. There's a ton of history. It is a reproduction sampler. Oh, let me fold this inside
Did you read
out.
what it says?
I didn't read much of it, honestly. I will, but I just jump on in.
Well, it says, if you're curious, during the time of life allotted me, grant me, good God, my heel and liberty. I beg no more. If more thou art pleased to give, I will with thanks the overplus receive. Ooh. But it's cute, and it was stitched by a 12-year-old girl. That, like, blows my mind. Age 12.
And when we walked past her room, so, full disclosure, this was at the beginning of the information coming to us as Americans about COVID, and I had a very short list of things, so I wasn't going to go in every room if I didn't have a short list, but I had a definitive list of things I needed to pick up, and I wasn't interested in going in rooms that I didn't have something to pick up from or have pre-orders from, just to minimize, like, exposure, really. So, we walked by this room like 2 or 3 times, and this designer does these beautiful dolls. I wish I would have taken pictures. She does them as teaching pieces. And if you can imagine, you stitch on all the layers of a gown, and you have a porcelain bust, and, bust and head of a doll. And they're gorgeous. Look her up online.
The dress, the coat, the little
crying it.
Purse,
shiny and silks, and just
the little pendants,
but not
on
anything that. I mean, I would love to stitch it, but not in this lifetime right now. I have too much going on. So, but at the corner of my eye, she had this sampler, and it was turned where its back faced the window, really. And I kind of peeked around, and I was like, oh, I need to go look at this. And then I thought about it the whole entire day. And that's the sign that you just need to go ahead and buy it, right? So then I went ahead and bought it, and I've been in love ever since. There you go. That goes in there. Oh, so that's the only progress I had. I did stitch a little bit on... Oh, wait. I'll let Sarah. I'm still kind of bumbly on my feet.
Sorry. I'll hurry up.
No, you don't have to hurry. I just was going to get those 2 bags on it. I want to try to stand up and dump everything over. This bag is stuffed. And this is in my personal haul, and this is in my top... This is in my top 3. Nothing that I would ever stitch, but here I am, and I love this too. And as soon as I either get bored or need a break,
or overwhelmed with the berries,
I've just been ripping through them though. So this is Tempting Tangles. Look at that! I don't know. I love cuckoo clocks, and something about this is just old worldy.
But I
feel like cuckoo clock, but I love it.
I don't know how, like, the chart, like, this isn't giving it justice what it looks like stitched.
That's the only thing I've done. Because I was so tired in
the colors look very bright and primary almost in this, and they're a little less. Watch these look blindingly bright.
No, they don't.
Okay, yeah. See, you can kind of see. Like, the red
Turn
isn't...
the Santa around so they can see him, because he's one of my hauls, too. Oh! He came from Fripperies.
Who's been naughty, who's been nice.
Canaughty. Get it?
So these are the colors. Like, you know, they're not as bright, I feel like, as the chart makes it look.
And I opted to stitch it on white, which I never do, but I just don't want to take away from the colors.
Blues.
Alright, there goes Robbie. Got us on airplane, and she's still
coming through. But yeah, this was so cute.
There's boats going by and whatnot. Okay, so that is, so there's two of my favorites, and also Progress. And then the only other Stitchy Progress that I have to show, and then we're going to go on to my shop haul, and hopefully we can get that done before my computer dies, is my Prairie Schooler Alphabet. Marcy, I have gotten some progress, but since Nashville, I've been all in love with that dang sampler of the orange berries. But here, I'm working on B. I'm not going to unfold the whole thing because it's on an entire yard.
It's a blanket.
It is a blanket, and it keeps me nice and snuggly. It's on a whole yard of a week's parchment.
Let me hold it.
I got it. So there we go. I've got A done. A is for Anchor, and B is for Blackbird is almost done. Woo!
Looks so good.
It looks so good, and I love it so much. I just love it all so much. And
yeah. There's a needle hanging off.
I know. That's so that I don't forget it. Just tuck that in there. Okay, so there's that. Oh, there's the needle. Safely tuck it right there. Okay. Okay, here is my bric-a-brac. The bric-a-brac portion of the haul. The odds and ends.
So this isn't shop haul, right?
This is just my personal haul.
We just want to clarify.
Yeah.
Personal
so this
haul.
is some of it's available in shop and some of it's not, but it's my personal haul. So I got a Picture This Plus shale because I want to stitch Hunter Gatherer, which you will see shortly. The light out here is really capturing these things in the right color. I'm gonna go.
The sun, it's an amazing thing.
I wouldn't know. I don't get out here that much. I got a Handmade Waxer by Taylor Nash, Stacey Nash's daughter. I got two of those. I'm ripping through this quick so that y'all won't be here for 4 hours. I got the Floss Pack for Kringles. Kringles in real life also. So good.
I mean, these colors just scream your name.
They do.
Old World Neutrals.
Old World Neutrals. I don't know how to take that. That was my Color and Cotton haul for the month. Beautiful. Because I couldn't just not get these. These were the only two that were left. We were a little bit late getting to Needlework Press, so we just took what was left. It was the toilet paper run of Market.
No regrets, though.
No regrets. So I got 2 little notebooks. Nope, 3 wide. Ah, so cute. I'm trying not to bounce the table. I know I'm doing it.
We're giving some people some
Giving
seasickness.
some people some seasickness. There's another berry waxer. And then, let me tell you, Gentle Arts was out of Gentle Arts by 6:10. Everybody just rushes over there, and we followed suit and rushed and got some limited editions. There was a beautiful limited edition, like purpley peacocky color, jewel tone color thing, but I let Robbie have all that one because I wouldn't use it. So that's all one colorway. That's so cool. I plan on doing an Alessandra Adelaide tree with these. So that it's so cool. There's browns and purples and greens. Just really, really, really cool. And then this is like a variegated olive color. And I just got a couple of those. Oh, this is my floss. Oh, I would have been looking for that. That goes with the Christmas.
Oh.
And then I have more tchotchke type things in here, but a lot of things came from Fripperies, which that's where the Santa came from. They used to be romantic. I They used to be called romantic. I can't remember. Romantic somethings. Okay. There was 2 yards of this left. I did not go code Charmin. I just took one because one is more than I need. And I've already had some people reach out to me and ask if I'm willing to split this up. I will. I am. Not today. We're still shipping orders, people. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? If you have not received your order from the shop, I only had one designer mishap, and we can't even be mad at her because we love her so much. Beth Twist, love you. So I did a pre-order, no problem, and we think that it got left in Oregon, but it's fine because she's already shipped it.
Mishaps happen.
Mishaps happen.
Can't do everything perfect.
I'm
sure we'll have mishaps with the shipping.
We got 90% of it. The one thing that we didn't get that she didn't have any in stock of was berry bowl. So if you had a berry bowl order, that's the delay. It's coming. In fact, we're headed to the post office tomorrow morning. We're getting haircuts, and I've already got a shipping notification from Beth, so it's probably sitting there. So if you have an order that had stuff from Beth, it's probably posting tomorrow from us. Everything else is picked. We're just waiting on your package is ready with your name on it. All we're waiting on is your last little bit of things to go in. So this is Aztec Red. So you can see Aztec Red gingham. It's check. It's got a check, but it's not obnoxious.
It's low key.
It's low key check, and I'm gonna stitch Santa on this. And I got a whole yard, because that's what you do. And yes, I'm going to be willing to part with some of it, and I'll post that whenever I can. So those are only 2 pieces of fabric I bought because fabric is insanity business at Market. And I don't need, let's be honest, I don't need any more fabric. Okay.
You don't need any more anything.
Shush.
But
shush that crazy
here we
talk.
are.
Just that crazy talk. Okay. I'll let you go through my fripperies.
Okay.
So my stack is not that big. Feeling pretty good about it, actually.
Do you want to hold on?
Yep. I'm trying to put the table.
Huh?
I'm going to try not to put the table, but we'll probably go.
Okay. Start with this little guy.
Ah!
Red Barn.
What's not to love? It's probably really loud in people's earbuds. Oh my gosh, look at that. A bird on his head. Nesting up there. And we're really into, like, the smolder. These guys have, like, serious faces on. Even the Santa did. Ah! So cute. Put a bird on it. I still live by that.
This is a little, I think it's 5-inch ruler. 5-inch ruler. Stitch.
If you ever meet me in person, if you ever meet us in person, ask us to tell you about our checkout experience at Fripperies. We wanted 1 of everything. 2 of everything. 3 of everything. It's amazing. Okay. Sarah, you might want to just hang on to that bag. I'm just going to hand this. This is an eyeglass cleaner. Or a lens cleaner. You can clean your magnifier or whatever.
Or even a computer screen.
Computer screen. I needed that. These will be available in the shop. This is a full kit. The floss is tucked inside there, and it's Sheepish Manor by Chessie and me. These are bequeath stickers. So, upon my death, I bequeath this work of my hands to. So, I might pre-fill some of these out and slip them in Robbie's finishes. No handwriting analysis is going to second guess that. I can do it. I've seen her handwriting enough. Small, all caps.
Well, now it's
out there for the world.
It's out there.
It's out there.
Foiled your own plan.
Okay, now we're going to get into the charts, and I'll go quick.
The fun.
I will cut you
with my Dovos.
Because I got a pair of Dovos. 2 pairs of Dovos scissors, too. We've all been excited about the CW samplers. So, Creative Whims is Teresa Koget's art house. This book, I have not even flipped through it much, but I love it. Can't really show the charts, but
I just want a little.
what a value. Brenda Gervais with that needle and thread I collect because I love anything with tomatoes. I like tomato and tomato art. Blackbird, Little Birds.
Santa.
Ah! Look at these guys. You know how I feel about salty Santas. These guys are fisherman Santas for sure. Bell Snickles. I love that. So this is what I got to stitch on that piece of shale. So Rosewood Manor, Karen typically stitches on 28 count, which I've kind of moved towards smaller counts, but this is such a stunner. And we have a friend who did this frame for her at our local Hobby Lobby, and that's exactly how I'm going to have it framed because the frame just, it was stunning, don't you think? So this is an ode to her dad, which I think is really cool. And then we went to Tell an Emblem and Give Me All the Birds. These are not that big. 87 by 87 stitch count. DMC. Yeah. And so cute. So you got the Northern Cardinal.
Which we have a lot of in the South.
The American Robin. Yeah, they come here to winter. The Yellow Warbler. And an Indigo Bunting, which if you're friends with me on Facebook, you will see that I have an Indigo Bunting that comes he comes down in the winter, and I almost fell out of my chair onto the floor when I saw him the first time. I was like, Dan, there's a blue cardinal out there. Oh my gosh, it's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. And he was like, that bird's been out there for weeks. Didn't even think to tell me. So Indigo Bunting is in the cardinal family. And then this is a cool tile. Pretty sure I picked this up for Robbie. Looks right up her alley, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, she might be getting it. Okay. Okay, this Needlework Press has the photo is of the original. In real life, this thing is popping. I mean, red, gold. Part of the verse is missing in the original, but she stitched it to say something. Oh, look. She left it blank, so you can either complete it or I'll have to read up on that. The chart, there it is.
You want me to read it?
Can you see it from there? It's something about Busy Bee.
The little busy bee improve each shining hour and gather honey.
Oh,
Honey all the day from every opening flower.
Yes. But she's made it where you can rechart it to say something else. But to me, this has a very Brenda Gervais feel. I think it's the colors, because that's how her color palette's been lately. Love it. Luminous Fiber Arts, Coffee First, then the Worm.
You could say then the
Frogs. I'll probably say then the Frog. Misty Purcell's room was amazing. Her use of color, awesome. Blackberry Rabbit. Look at that. Look at that border. After doing those berries, I could knock this sucker out in a weekend. If we get any further quarantine, this will be done. And then we imposed a stitch along upon Robbie that she didn't know. Madeline and I were in La Di Da room, and Robbie was somewhere else, and we picked this up, and we were like, we all have to stitch this, and it's a complete kit, and it has Lady Dot velveteen, and finishing, and silk, and
fabric.
Also, I could finish this tonight.
Even got a needle.
What? Put this in the to be started pile.
That's that thing.
This in here, folks. Beautiful. We live in hope, and I'm going to open it up because it actually has a big chart and a small companion piece. Which this would fit perfect in our house.
You can see it better right here.
This is the companion piece, which would go perfect in my home. The colors, the theme,
the vibe
of our little waterfront house here. Just stitching along. Krista, you did a beautiful Her stuff is stitched in DMC, which I love. I love how poppin' it is. And I'm going to stitch this on 40 count cream because I know that. I like that. Oh, joyous day. I love the colors of this.
I love that the bird is the same size as the house.
Obviously, duh. My heart can rest. The colors of this, too. So look at the original on the back. Oh. They blackbirded it up. So here, there's not a bird on the house, on the original, and then the reproduction.
Bird on it.
Bird on it. Put a bird on it. This, I just have this in the bag too, but it's going to the shop because Sarah's stitching these. So Shark Attack, we talked about that.
Stick that in the back of the shop box.
This is Santa Nose by Teresa Kogut. All about the sheep, all about the wool, all about the Santa, the old world Santas. So, Antique Family Sampler, 1839. This photos do nothing for this, of course. Isn't that always the way? Here comes a big yacht. So you're going to hear the yacht, then you're going to hear the surf. It's a typical Scottish style sampler. Lots of ornate letters. It's 93 by 240, so pretty tall one. Okay, look at this. I just want to stitch the Christmas baking situation in the middle. I'm thinking of putting that on like a gingerbread color fabric.
I think we have the pumpkin spice farm. You know where that hangs.
Uh-huh.
We could probably throw
Switch
that
it
up
out
there for Christmas.
With these. Tiny Modernist always brings it. These were stunners. What's not to love? The colors are really great.
They're just fun.
Great, great, great colors.
Yeah.
I just added this to the site today. In person, this is, I mean, we say it over and over again. And Summer House Stitchworks, Beth has some pretty great photos. Still doesn't touch how amazing this is in person. I'm backing Sarah up.
Sorry, I'm getting distracted.
I didn't pick up all the Ronnie Rose this year because I can't do them all. I want to. But this one, I mean, look at those cheekbones. Those are some Sarah Brown cheekbones right there. You see a resemblance? I think
Probably not too much, but
not too much, but she
I do
definitely
have
has the
the
cheeks.
cheekbones.
The screaming children that you hear are being pulled on a tube.
Everyone's okay, I think.
Everyone's okay. So, we went this year, when I went up to visit Sarah, we went to the Carnton house and...
Lots.
No.
Clarendon and...
Carter.
Carter,
Carnton and Carter.
Yeah.
So this is from the Carnton house, which is the bigger of the two, and the Carter house is the one that we were just moved by last year.
Yeah, if you've seen the photo of the barn that has
It was my cover photo for a long time.
Yes, that has the shots in it from the old, like, musket balls. That's the Carter house.
Lucy Beam, needle roll. I love needles. I love needle rolls. Robbie will graciously finish this for me, I bet. Again, I could whip this sucker out. I could do this today. 61 by 151, so it's pretty, the letters are pretty big, but that's some good TV stitching right there. That's going in the stat pile. Here's Kringles that we were talking about. In person, this is stitched on a 30 count by the Access Commodities linen, and it was pretty big. 30 count Parisian gray. It's pretty awesome. And I have to say that I was super excited that they didn't come out with another series, and here's why. Because I get excited about series, everyone else gets excited about series, and then a new series comes out, and then we get excited about that, and I'm still stitching on Hometown Holidays, and I should have that done by now. But this way, your series is kind of all at you at once, and they just did a fantastic job with that.
And then
there's another Shark Attack. How many of those are in there?
Oh, I think... Oh, because we bought these on Sunday, so they went in this bag.
They went in this bag. This is on a butterboard in cherry cobbler. What is this called? Little Red
I see red.
I see red. I could hardly see it in the sun how it's written on there. But it's on a butterboard, which you can order online, or you can just stitch it out because red sampler. And then the Sewing Club was the Blackbird crowning jewel of this year. Last year, the crowning jewel was the red book.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what was it called? I can't even remember. I can't.
It'll come to me. Was it just like red work? No.
Anyway, you know the book. You love the book. Oh la la.
Yes.
I was like, oh, I could see it in my head. So anyway, big fat book. You just, even if you got 3,500 projects lined up, when Blackbird comes out with a hefty crowning jewel book, you buy it you curate it and you put it away.
I have a favorite in here.
Sarah has a favorite. I haven't even spent that much time flipping through here.
Hang on. You can keep going if you want.
Okay. So
I'll find it and show it.
I showed my sampler that I started on, being one of my top favorites. The Christmas from Tempting Tangles, one of my top favorites. I mean, honestly, obviously, consider the lilies. Beth did a beautiful job printing this in a book. I already have His Eyes on the Sparrow, so I did not pick up the book of that, although in hindsight, I probably will call and order one from her. The colors of this are amazing. It's massive. She stitched it. I can't believe this. If I didn't see it in person, I'd be suspicious of this. 1/2 on 28, and her coverage, y'all, is like, you can kind of see in the flowers there. You don't see the X's. So she must have kind of loose tension. I don't know. However she did it, I asked no questions.
I found my favorite from the Sewing Club book. I always want to say Sewing Book Club, but it's Sewing Club book. She works with Willing Hands in Delight. I just think that's so pretty.
It is so pretty.
Like, I definitely need to stitch this, and I'm not even one, like, I probably wouldn't commit myself to stitching something like this, but I love the saying. I love the colors. I love everything.
And it would stitch pretty fast because your interest, you would constantly be working on something else interesting, you know?
And the chart is called Willing Hands. If you have the book and you want to just, like, find it, there's a table of contents. This is Willing Hands. Page 41.
Yes. Okay, so my other showstopper, I said I'd pick 5. Everything I bought here, obviously, I love. We'll say this is in the top 3. Nothing about this is anything I would ever do until I saw it in person. And I think Robbie stood in front of this for, like, a couple of minutes and was just... Robbie is a fantastic needleworker, and for her to compliment someone so genuinely on their stitching and how it looked like needlepoint, and this also will keep my interest because it's a band sampler. We were talking to Kimberly about her stitching this, and I think she was somewhere, and I don't mean to misquote her, but she was somewhere around this yellow band, and I think from there up, she didn't like it or something. Yeah. And she picked it out.
She stitched...
over on 40 count.
I think she said it took 5 weeks to complete it all the way, stitching it like full-time job. Full-time job stitching, it took her 5 weeks, and 5 of those days, so it took her 5 days just to rip out, just to frog what she didn't like on the bands.
Yeah, it was a couple of bands, yeah.
And then she changed it, and obviously it worked out because it's beautiful.
In person, I mean, it is.
So it really took her like 4 weeks, and that to me is just insane. Like, and it was so pretty. Like, there was no mistakes. I was like,
her stitching, it was absolutely flawless.
And this looks like a lot, but there's not that many colors, to be honest.
No, here's the colors. It's Weeks Dye Works or DMC, however you want to do it.
And each band is fun. You're not doing like a solid
that's what I'm saying.
block.
I think, you wouldn't lose interest because it'd be like, on to the next
let's see if you can get the pattern of one of these. They're very like swirly and flowers, and the border is just...
And then because I can't help myself, pick that back out. So, this little guy right here, it's got a bird on it. And you could get the bird. So Samplers Not Forgotten kits sell out like boom. I had pre-ordered this, so we were good. Everybody who did pre-order it, you have it. But this kit comes with, I mean, beads, a button, the floss, rickrack, finishing, backing, every single solitary thing you need, and it's the bird.
Also, the words on this one says, well, it's French for little by little a bird builds its nest. And if you don't want to stitch it in French, there is an English, I guess, conversion of the chart. And she said you kind of have to squeeze it in there, but you can. I think little by little a bird builds its nest is so like
us too.
Yeah,
it so fits in our house, in my life. Yeah. I might start this tonight. So, just a quick word about life updates. So, Sarah's school, she goes to 2 colleges, Belmont and Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is done for the semester because of the coronavirus. They're a medical school. They have a CDC office there. They got other stuff going on to minimize exposure. We're waiting to hear further from Belmont. Right now, she's home until the 6th.
Home till the 3rd. My classes are supposed to start again the 6th. But that's very tentative because it relies on the condition of, where the world's at. So, but, we're making the most of the time that we have. I got an additional week of spring break to kind of, not have to worry about school. And then I'm kicking back up with online classes next week. So
my
exciting.
School right now, of course, we're in Florida. The governor has closed the university system down. But I work for a state college, so right now, as far as we know, we're on spring break until the 23rd, and then classes will resume. But it's a very fluid situation, and it's uncharted territory. So who knows if we'll be back to school or if we'll be on an online forum platform. I work in testing, so I work with a ton of students a day. I can see, 50 to 100 students in a day easy. So who knows what the situation's going to look like. But no matter what happens, we got plenty of stitching to do if we get stuck at home. Other life news, you guys know, I think I told you last video, maybe I didn't. I broke a tooth. Well, this was fine. I already had a root canal done, so I went to get a crown. They give you the lovely temporary that's made out of pumice. Think about how fun that feels in your mouth. And then I went to get that fixed on Thursday or Friday. And my dentist is amazing. And she was like, I'm not happy with the porcelain crown they sent. So I sat through the whole appointment all over again for another temporary. Wasn't happy about that. But I was happy that it was because she wanted to do a great job. I wanted to do things right. So I have fun pumice temporary crown. But hey, everything's intact. That's important. So we are going to do our part, and by do our part, we're going to sit and watch Netflix and stitch and start things and ship things. Like I said, if you have stuff coming out, just understand if you had anything. There's a few onesie-twosies that we're waiting on charts for. Otherwise, the bulk of it has gone out. And that's it for now. We're going to charge this laptop. We're going to save the video, and then we're going to do a shop haul update. Okay, bye!
See you guys next time.